if you're watching this video, you're probably somebody who tried getting in shape, you're currently trying to get in shape, or you're mad that you can't get in shape. In this video, I'm going to explain exactly the things why you're not getting to your goal or building an aesthetic physique or the body that you actually want. Why you're stuck and what actually works. Now, if I had known this information that I'm about to go over right behind me, if I would have known this information 12 years ago, I probably would be 12 years ahead of the game. And a lot of this I didn't learn until years and years until I started doing this by trial and error. So you're lucky you're getting it here, and if you can stay tuned to the end of the video, you'll get a ton of value, and I guarantee you will not be in the same spot that you're in as long as you pay attention to what I'm about to go over. Why you're stuck. Your nutrition is ass. I know that's not something you came to the video to want to hear. You want to feel like everything that you're doing is great. But one thing you have to realize is there is always something to be done as far as nutrition. You can always do something better. And what I mean by that is you can always manipulate your meals around your training, around your wake up time, around the times you go to sleep. So there's never a set it and forget it type of macro or meal plan that you can follow. That's why most of you guys' nutrition is just ass. You think that you can get a meal plan online or have some type of trainer or coach just give you a meal plan and you follow that and you think that you're going to get your results. It just doesn't happen like that. A lot of these things that we're about to go over, they're gonna kind of intersect with each other. So if I'm saying the same thing over and over, it's probably an important point that I'm trying to get across. All right. But if you're somebody that wants more tips and more tricks, this is likely the thing. Let me underline, because this is probably arguably the most important thing that I'm about to go over. Most people that think I can get to my goal by just looking online and finding all these tips and tricks, and you think that you're going to build the body that you want, the toned body that you see online on every fitness influencer's page, you have been lied to this entire time, because the key to achieving your body goals is not going to come from more tips and more tricks. It's not. You're compiling all of this information together to try to come up with your own conclusion. And that's the thing that has been keeping you stuck this entire time. Because let's keep it a buck. If it were that easy, every human on planet Earth should be in shape and have a six-pack, right? But they're not. What does that tell you? It tells you that more tips and more tricks and hacks do not work. The worst thing that you can do is ask some type of fitness professional, fitness coach, or fitness trainer, hey, what are some tips or tricks that you can give me that'll help me drop 50 pounds? Someone asked me this recently, hey, do you have any tips when it comes to losing weight? I got hundreds of tips. Doesn't mean that's necessarily gonna help you get to your goal just because I give you the next hack or the next tip. For instance, if I told you to drink diet sodas and replace those with, or replace full sugar sodas with a diet soda, that is a quote unquote nutrition hack, right? Because it's 0 calorie. You're going from drinking calories to virtually or 0 calorie. That is a hack or a trick, but that doesn't necessarily mean that you're gonna get to your goal because you have that tip or trick. Random workouts aren't gonna get you your body goals. You know why? Because it's not personalized. Your physique is completely different than someone else's. And I would argue that most people pay too much attention to the workout portion of it before they even fix their nutrition. Your nutrition is ass, your workouts are ass, so that leads to an ass physique. So if you don't have this dialed in, this doesn't even matter. The workouts virtually do not matter. You can lose a ton of weight without even stepping foot inside the gym. You know in those movies where there's the white lady and she's cooking her family dinner, she's usually small, she's usually petite, she's probably goes to Pilates twice a week. She's probably never worked out a day in her life in the movies, but they're always small and petite, all right? That is what you should strive for first before you shoot for random workouts, all right? Here's another one. This kind of intersects with number one, we're talking about eating clean. Just because you eat clean doesn't mean shit. Doesn't mean anything. You can eat 5 salads a day for breakfast, lunch, dinner, and 2 snacks or 3 snacks. It's not gonna matter. If you're over consuming calories, if you're putting 300 calories worth of ranch on your Caesar salad, I don't know, that's 20, 30 grams of fat that you just drizzled over the salad, but you're eating healthy. I don't care how clean you're eating, if you're not tracking your calories and tracking the numbers, you're gonna be doing all of this over and over and over on repeat. You're gonna be stuck in this cycle. This is where most people lie, in this room right here, all right? And not only do you do that, but you reset every single Monday. Oh, I fell off. You know, mom, she had a cookout at the house. I can't turn down mom's cooking. And then I took leftovers home. Oh man, I messed up 2 days in a row. You know what? Fuck it. I'll just wash this whole week and just eat whatever I want. And then I'll reset on Monday. It's cool, I'm gonna reset Monday. Next Monday comes around, you're good for the first 2 days because you were so restrictive on your diet, right? You're doing a ton of cardio. You gotta drop the pounds, right? You gotta drop the belly fat, the gut. Wednesday rolls around and, oh, I messed up on my diet again. I guess I'm gonna start back Monday. You see, this has a common theme we're talking about, all right? And this is a great one. Most people think that they have the knowledge, right? Or let's just say you have the knowledge. Knowing and not doing virtually means nothing. I don't care how much knowledge you know about anything. If you're not implementing it, if you don't have the physique that I want, or that you never achieved what I want to achieve, I'm not listening to you. Straight up. And guess what? Even if you knew what to do and you're not doing it, why does that even matter? Exactly, it doesn't matter. So if you're somebody, you know what? I'm gonna take it a step further. Most people don't even realize what they need. Most people don't even know what they need. Oh, I just need better workouts. Oh, I need an in-person trainer. You actually don't know what you need. I find it hilarious. I can have conversations with people, and if they're local, they're coming to me, a fitness trainer, asking, hey, I need to lose 20 pounds. And they consult with me and tell me about their problems and what they're going through. I say, cool. What do you think that you're missing that you're not already doing right now? Oh, my workouts. I haven't been to the gym in a year. And then they got in this long rabbit hole about I would prefer an in-person trainer. The in-person trainer that was never the problem. It's your nutritional habits. It's the bend in the elbow, if you know what I'm saying. You can't put the fork down. So most people don't actually know what they need. I know that sounds crazy. You think that I just need to fix my eating. That might be the case, maybe. But when we talk about building a physique that's above average, because I never talk about the bare minimums, we're not shooting for the bare minimum result. You know, we don't get in the gym to train or just a little bit or just enough. You push yourself to become the best version of yourself. Nobody ever built a nice physique on accident. You don't just wake up one day and you magically gain 20 pounds of muscle and shredded 20 pounds of body fat. We have to be very intentional. And this isn't up here on the board right now, but one thing that a lot of people are telling themselves is, I need balance. I understand that fat loss, weight loss, and muscle building and building the dream body that I have envisioned in my head is gonna be hard. But you know what? I need balance. You know what that tells me? That tells me that you're not willing to put in the work and the effort behind what you're telling me. You want balance though, but you also want this above average physique. That's not gonna happen. There is no balance. There is a season that you go through within life where other things take priority. And if I'm somebody that's 300 pounds and my leg is gonna be chopped off soon because I got diabetes, guess what then is a priority? At number one, it's making sure all of this is in check and so I don't get my leg cut off. Fitness, health becomes a priority then. Fuck the balance. We don't need balance. We need to be able to keep our leg. And I would argue that it doesn't even have to get to that point. There are a lot of people that are in that situation. Get diagnosed with diabetes. It's reversible if you actually care enough. And this is what a lot of people don't do. And I've been like this myself, so I can't really talk. But eventually you grow out of it the longer you do it. Not tracking your progress photos, weigh-ins, being honest with yourself, giving yourself unbiased feedback. You don't know how many times I can have a conversation with someone and they'll say, I lost 5 pounds 6 months ago. I'm working on it though. That sounds like biased feedback because you're not willing to push deeper than losing a couple of pounds. If you're not giving yourself honest feedback, you can never be unbiased when it comes to the results that you're actually getting. You're gonna see yourself every single day. Most people, they don't stick to it long enough to see the results to actually even get good feedback. This isn't like a 2-week thing. It's not a 3-month thing. This is gonna sound cliche. It's a lifestyle change. You literally have to get rid of your old lifestyle and make room for a new one. Most people just wanna keep all the bad habits, the smoking, the drinking, the going out every weekend, having the same piece of shit friends. It just doesn't work like that. Because if you're doing all of this right here in the green, you are creating a new identity for yourself. Moving on to this side of the board. What actually works? Your nutrition is key. Don't care what anybody tells you. You're not gonna work off the 20 or 30 pounds that you've been trying to lose for the past 6 years by working yourself out so hard at the gym and doing a ton of cardio. It just doesn't work like that. Your nutrition needs to be able to adapt in every circumstance within your life. If you're going on a 7-day cruise, 6 days, 6 nights, you're going on vacation, your nutrition, and you haven't locked in on your diet already, right? And you're just like a bigger person, say you weigh 280 as a 5'9" male, I'm 5'9". Let's say I was 280. You're gonna have to fix that. You can't get away with cheat meals and talk about, again, having balance, because balance is a coping mechanism for you to stay in the same current situation that you're in right now. That's why you haven't been able to lock in on the nutrition side of things, all right? And cross-referencing more tips and tricks, simple execution, the standardized way to lose body fat, build muscle, and build a body that you actually like to see in the mirror is gonna come from progressive overload, mechanical tension, training in the gym, right? And making your meal plan super simple food items, lean protein sources, complex carbs, eating your fruits and your vegetables. That's something that nobody really wants to, sounds good on paper, but when we go to implement it, there's a reason why we never stick to it. Simple execution. If you got all these hundreds of meals saved in your Instagram folder or your TikTok folder and you never use them, guess what? It's because it's not simple to execute. Why should you follow that? Maybe here and there, you'll fix a high protein, low calorie meal with 100 ingredients. Maybe you will. Most of the time you won't. We just hit on progressive overload, but progressive overload, that's in every scenario. Progressive overload with your training in the gym, progressive overload with your nutrition, progressive overload with your cardio. Over time, things should get harder and harder until they become easier. Progressive overload, increasing your cardio. You stick to the cardio routine, 30 minutes a day, and then you progressive overload it. After a couple of weeks, I'm gonna progressive overload to 40 minutes of cardio. Same thing with the lifts, same thing with your nutrition. You're coming down in calories, and then you bring your calories up for a period of time, bring them back down, bring them back up. That's just the name of the game, all right? And if you're not on some type of structured training program, then I think you're missing out. The easiest one to follow would be a push. All right, so structured training. You need to be following a structured training program. The easiest one that I've seen for most clients to be compliant with, and they actually love and they get the recovery time, because it's only a 4-day split per week. It's 2 days on, 1 day off, 2 days on. Upper, lower, day off, upper, lower. So you have upper A, which is one set of exercises for upper body. Lower A, which is your first set of lower body exercises. And then upper body part B, lower body part B. Simple, 4 days per week. And if you're one of these guys that says, oh, I only have time for 2 or 3 days a week, okay, just be fat. You have to compromise somewhere, but you're not gonna achieve your dream physiques and your dream physique and your dream body by going to the gym 2 to 3 days a week. If this is new to you, you need to knock off the learning curve of training in the gym and lifting. By the time, you're not gonna do that with less experience in the gym rather than more, especially in the beginning. 4 days minimum. 4 to 5 days minimum. Number 5, just comes down to doing the same boring shit. Guys, living a healthy lifestyle, it's not fun most of the time. I think the fruits from your labor after you get lean and you build the body that you want, it shows then, but during the process, bro, it's boring. I don't hang with the same friends anymore. It can be a good thing. I don't eat the same type of raggedy food that gives me the dopamine that I need every single day. That's actually some big back shit. It actually is. Getting lean is boring. Living a healthy lifestyle is boring. You go to work, you go to the gym, you go to the grocery store, and you go to sleep. Living a healthy lifestyle is not fun. Not to say that you can't have fun, but you have to keep doing the same boring consistencies, the same food, same workouts, and you will get the result. We talked about this on this side. Most people think they can get by by just knowing more and doing all the research on ChatGPT, the Googles, the Facebook, the Instagram. The reality is if you knew what to do, you would already be where you want to be, or you would have implemented it. Again, that's why the entire world isn't shredded with six packs. Unbiased feedback, we hit on that. You have to get someone to give you honest feedback. Usually it's going to be an accountability partner, like maybe your spouse, if they're also serious and they could be biased at the same time. But if you have the luxury, you have the extra finances in place to get a trainer, I recommend getting a trainer, and not just an in-person trainer, someone to hold you accountable outside of the gym. You don't need a personal trainer to sit there and count your reps. Oh, good form, I'll see you next week. That'll be $75 for this one session. You see what I'm saying? That's not what you need. You need to fix this because your nutrition is ass. Lastly, you need to be able to notice the identity change. The identity change is the person that consistently has these beliefs or has always held on to these beliefs. And this is why I've never been able to get the dream body. I don't have the tips. I don't have the tricks. I don't have the workouts. If you think like this person on this side, this is why you're stuck. Until you realize that you need an identity change, not just new workouts, not just the next meal plan. You need to be able to change how you think, your limiting beliefs. Oh, you know what? I just never have time to go to the gym. Limiting belief that you have been telling yourself. Oh, you know what? I don't have the finances. But you spend $20 on Chipotle every single day. 20 times 30 days, you're spending $600 a month on Chipotle. I'm just saying, you sacrifice the Chipotle, meal prep your meals, and you might be able to become this person on this side. You have limiting beliefs that you've been telling yourself as to why you can't get to where you want to be. The Chipotle, it's gotta go. Especially with the queso and the guac and all the added toppings. You just make such a healthy meal, or what could have been a healthy meal, a low calorie, high protein meal, into something that, have you ever watched someone in a Chipotle line? I am very observative, very. Extra queso, extra sour cream, extra mozzarella cheese, shredded cheese. Just put 600 calories worth of nothing on top of this meal that could have been, all you need is a protein, and you need a carb, maybe some onions and peppers, that's it. But you just ruined an entire meal. I'm just saying. You need an identity change. You don't need the next meal plan. You don't need the next workout. You need to do the same boring shit. And I understand it's not extravagant. Nobody's chicken, broccoli, rice. There's other different ways to structure meals rather than just chicken, broccoli, and rice, by the way. But it takes consistency, and not only consistency, but consistency doing the boring work. Tracking the numbers. Tracking your calories is not glamorous. Nobody ever raves about tracking calories. Oh, I get to track my calories today. That's just not, it also doesn't take a ton of time. So for me, someone like me, it's not time consuming, it's not hard work. It's just a limiting belief that you have, that all of this is hard. You know what's actually harder? Living in a body that you just don't like. Looking at yourself in the mirror every single day, trying to dodge that person because you can't control your eating habits and you're too lazy to go to the gym. Because you have these limiting beliefs. I don't have time. You know what? I don't have any money for a gym membership. I can't afford healthy food. I had a conversation with someone today about healthy food. He can't afford healthy food. I said, bro, that's the only way for me to save money is by eating healthy. You can spend $20 at Walmart and get a couple pounds of ground beef and some rice and call it a day. Get you some low calorie sauces. I'm just saying, it's fire. But I hope this video helped give you some insight into what it actually takes to go from this guy over here that is stuck to doing what actually works and build your dream body, build somebody that's actually worth looking at in the mirror, because that's gotta suck every single time you're about to step in the shower and you look at yourself and you're like, damn. Or matter of fact, I don't even want to look. If interested in coaching, click the link below in the details. Shoot me an application. I'll review it, and if you're a good fit, I'll reach out. So, all right, that's it. I'll see you guys in the next video.